Okay, guys, so we are in the brand new build mode update, the biggest update to Roblox Piggy possibly ever. Like, literally, you can probably tell straight from the UI, they have added and changed so much in build mode, and there is a lot to talk about and go over in this video. Of course, though, before we go over everything like the cutscene editor, all the new blocks, how to add different actors and characters into your game, we need to first do the Robux giveaway. Every time there's a brand new Piggy update, we always give out some Robux codes. All you got to do to win a card, $10 Robux card, is be subscribed to the channel and leave a comment down below with your Roblox name. I'll pick a winner in the next video. Anyway, like I mentioned, and as you're probably seeing from on the screen, there is a lot of stuff. Build mode looks completely different. Let's go ahead and break down everything piece by piece. So I'm going to save the video cutscene creator for last, just because it is probably the most complicated. And we're going to go ahead and start off with the resize tool. Now, here's a pretty big thing that was added. So if you go to basic and you select the basic block just like this, and then you click this little middle button here, you have a few options. You have number one, which is your delete tool. You have the plus, which is your plus tool. It will add a block to the map. And then you have your paintbrush, so you can change the color or what have you of a block. You have your eyedropper tool, which takes the color of a block or item. You have this, which just gets rid of all your tools, so you can just play around, do whatever. And then you have this brand new resize tool. Now, this only works on the basic blocks, but how it works is you select the tool, you click the block, and then suddenly you can literally resize the block into anything you want. You want it really tall, you can do that. You want it really short, but maybe you want it to be pretty big, so that way you have room to check out the new build mode update. Well, guess what? You can do that. Just click off of it and boom, there you go. It's that easy. And then you can go to something like the paintbrush tool and you can select a color or maybe a texture. Like maybe we could do some grass, maybe some green grass. Click it, boom, look at that. Now it's grass. It's literally that easy. Now, of course, beyond that, we do have the revamped UI, and let's go ahead and break everything down. So right here, your first option is going to be everything you can add to the game. You have your basic blocks, your decorations, your events, your items, your lights, your NPCs, and we'll get more into those here in a second. Now, the second option I've kind of already went over, and then of course the third option is the textures and the colors. It should be pretty self-explanatory. Now, this option right here, this allows you to save your map, load your map, or play your map. Maybe you want to load in and play your map for everybody on it. And then this button right here, this is a very nice button. This is the settings for your map. Now, up here at the top, you can turn hard mode on and off. I'm going to keep it off. And then right here, you can actually change the skin of the bot. So this is the bot that's going to be on the map, and you can change which one it is. And there is a lot of options in here. I'm just going to go with, let's go with Alfie's. Let's go with Alfie's right there. And then, of course, going back into it, we have privacy, pretty self-explanatory. You can make the game public so anyone can join in or not. You can make it discoverable so it pops up on the discover list. Double jump, the no clip. This has already been in the game, but I'll show it off again since it's been so long since a build mode update. You can change the time of day here. You can kick players out of the game. You can add people to be able to build alongside you, like team building, teleport to spawn, pretty basic stuff. And then this last option here brings up the video cutscene creator. We'll again talk about that last because it is actually probably the most complicated. Now, over here on the bottom right, if you click this little 3-line button, you have 4 options. This first option allows you to choose what skin you're going to spawn as Piggy. So if you are the Piggy, you can choose which skin you're going to spawn as. So for example, I could be Budgie, and now I'll spawn as Budgie. The second option here is your abilities. It allows you to change and equip abilities, because abilities are now officially in build mode. So you can change your traps as Piggy, you can change your abilities as Survivor. And then this third option is really cool because you can actually buy player models. These are actually player models that you can play as in the game. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to buy every single one of these here. There's not many right now. And then you can see I bunny selected. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select, let's go with something crazy. Let's go with Giraffe. All right. And now if I spawn into the game, I'm going to go ahead and click play here. I'm going to spawn into the game. We're going to do a bot, and I should be playing as Giraffe. There we go. So everything works as Giraffe. You can pick up items. You're essentially the exact same as the player. You can do abilities over here on the side. The only difference is now you're playing as Giraffe, and that works with any of the characters. So really awesome job. Now, real quick, for the people that don't know what you have to do to actually start a game, you actually have to have 2 items. You have to have a player spawn, which you get by going to 1, and then you go to events, and then it's right up here at the top. You have your player spawn. That's where all the players are going to spawn. And then you also have your Piggy spawn, and that's where the Piggy is going to spawn. I have mine way over there. Now, you also have 2 more options now. All right, you have the green box here, and what this is a patrol path. So if I put these down, the Piggy is going to patrol back and forth between these. All right, and then the next option, this one right here that looks like a trap, this is actually the Piggy trap. And what's going to happen is anytime the Piggy walks over this box, the Piggy is going to put down a trap, just like the bots in single player mode. So I can put some of these down right there. And then if I go to play and go to bot, and then we wait for the Alfie's bot to spawn, because that's what I selected. All right, so I spawned in, and now as you can tell, the bot isn't actually coming directly for me like it normally does. It's actually going to go along the path that we put down. And you're going to see it's going to put down a trap as soon as it crosses one of the boxes. There it is right there. It put down a trap. And now it's going to slowly patrol back that way and then back this way. It should put down another trap here somewhere. There we go. It just put down another one right there. And it's just going to keep going along that path unless it detects me. So if I get close to it here, it will aggro onto me. And there we go. Now it's going to start chasing me. If I get too far away, it'll go back to its route. Unfortunately, there's really no places to hide here, so I don't really have any places for it to get off of me, so I'm just gonna jump off the side right there. Now, as far as NPCs go, the other things that were added were the TSP members. So you can add these bad boys into the game, all right, and they work just like they do in regular Piggy. You can put them down, and they don't actually chase after you unless you walk right in front of them. And they got all 6 of them here, so we can put all of them down here just for funsies like this. And then if I go ahead and play the game, you can see they're not actually going to aggro onto me, but if I stand in front of them, there they go, just like in normal Piggy. That's how they work. I can go in front of him. There he goes, just like in regular story mode right there. It's exactly the same. Now, along with all the NPCs, they've also added in a bunch of new items. You've got a bunch of new items here. Like, for example, we've got this right here, which is actually Mimi's tool. Now, Mimi's tool is actually really interesting because how it works is you put it down on the map, and then you also put Mimi down on the map. So I'll put Mimi right here. And then, if you go to events, there's actually going to be a door that, just like in Chapter 4 of Book 2, this one right here, Mimi is going to activate it. This one requires Mimi. So if you put this tool on your map, you have to have Mimi on it, and you also have to have that little tool. But if I go ahead and click play here, and then I grab this tool and I give this tool to Mimi, she's gonna go and activate the door just like she does in Chapter 4 of Book 2. There we go. She's gonna blowtorch it, and the door should open up. Just like that, and there we go. Now, there are a lot of other items and decoration blocks added into the game. You've got fences in here now. You've got vending machines. I'm not going to go through every single one. A lot of these are just for looks. They're just for aesthetics. You can go through and play around with them if you want to. I do want to mention, though, that safes have been added into the game. Now, the nice thing about safes is no matter which one you choose, whether you get the white key one or maybe the yellow key one, you can actually click this little button on top, and you can actually choose the item that spawns inside of it. So for example, we could have a fire extinguisher spawn inside the safe. So whenever they open the safe, there'll be a fire extinguisher in there. Now, along with that, we also have vents. Vents are added into the game. Of course, they're pink now because I have pink selected. I can change it back to white if I want to right down there. But this vent requires a hammer to open up. Or maybe you could have this vent right here. This is also another option that players can open up and crawl through. Or maybe you just want some cool doors on your map, like the doors from the ship map. You can do that as well. And of course, you can change the color of those just like you can with everything else, along with the texture. So if you want maybe a grass door, we could grab green, and boom, there we go, grass door right there. Like I said, there's a lot of new items and everything in here. You'll have to go through and play around with them. Now, I do want to really quickly mention the conveyor block. If you don't know what a conveyor belt is, it's pretty self-explanatory. You put it down, and basically whenever something goes onto it, it just, it conveys it down. You can run on it. It's a little bit hard, but it constantly pushes you down there. Kind of a cool mechanic. Maybe you could have like all the players on a conveyor belt and do a cool map that way, but I thought I'd mention it. Now, before we get into the cutscene creator, I do want to talk about a few more things, like the light block. So this is a block you can put down. It's invisible to all the players, and you can customize it, and you can change the color of the light. So for example, if I want to make a red light, I can make all of these down here just be 0 and make this be 0, enter, and then of course you can change the brightness of the light. I think the max is 2. You can change the range of it, so how far it lights up. So we could do 50 blocks if we want to, confirm. And look at that. Now everything has a slightly red glow to it, just like that. And that works with any color. You can do it with any color. You just look up the RGB code on the internet. Just be like, hey, maybe I want blue. What's the blue RGB code? Look it up. You can type it in here. And then boom, there you go. You have yourself a blue light or a red one. Now, along with light blocks, we also have sound blocks. Where are they at? Here they are right here under events. Now, these work pretty much the same way. You click on them and you can make them play a sound. So you can input a sound ID right here. If you don't know how to get a sound ID, you just go to create on Roblox. You go to a library, and then you just want to choose audio down here. And then you can just search for something. So I could do like crab rave, maybe. Click on the crab rave. And then right up here is the sound ID. It's this little number right there. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to right click. I'm going to copy that right there. And then I'm just going to paste that right on in here. Actually, let me delete the 0 out of there, then paste it, then hit enter. And then of course we can change the volume, so I can make it max volume. I can change the distance if I want to. I can change the pitch. I can make it loop, confirm. And now if I load into the game here, we should hear that audio. So let me load in. And there it is right there. That's the crab rave. And there's that red light as well. Pretty awesome. Now, the last thing I want to show before we talk about the cutscene editor is, of course, the notes. So if we go to events, you can actually choose a note. And the nice thing about notes is, well, you can also change the color and the texture of the notes. So I can literally have a grass note down there, or maybe I could have a, let's go with a brick note. Let's go with a pink brick note right there. Look at that. Or maybe I want just a regular white note that is just looking kind of like a, oh, that doesn't look like a normal note, does it? Let's go with maybe that there. There we go. And then you can click the little thing on top. You can change the text. So I can say, hey, YouTube, hit confirm, and then look at that. It got hashtagged. We can change this to, hey, yo, what up? And then confirm. And there we go. Look at that. There it is. You can put whatever you want on the notes. Looking pretty good. Whew. Okay. So you guys made it this far in the video. Congratulations. This is a lot to go over and talk about. Let's go over the cutscene editor. So how it works is you click for the little 3 bars right here, and then you click the video icon. Now down here, you have all your scenes. So we just started. So we're going to go with scene 1, and we're going to click this little pin icon, and it's going to bring up this menu. So first thing we're going to want to do is figure out who we want in our scene. So I'm going to do a scene with Zizzy and Pony. So I'm going to click this new actor button down here, and I'm going to choose, let's get Zizzy in here. Where is Zizzy? There's Zizzy. You can press R to rotate her around and rotate them around like that. And then I'm also going to add Pony in here. So where is Pony? Let's go Pony right there. All right, we're going to put Pony right next to Zizzy over here. There we go. Now, a cool thing you can do is you can actually change their expression. So if we want Pony to be sad, we can do that. And maybe we want Zizzy to be angry, we can do that. And then what we need to do is for our first scene, we need to figure out who is talking, right? So I'm going to change the speaker. We're going to make Zizzy be the speaker. She's going to be the one talking. And for the dialogue, we're going to make her say, hey, what's up, Pony? And I'm going to hit enter. There we go. Now over here on the right, if you want it to play music along with your cutscene, you can do that. So I could paste in the crab rave if I wanted to. I'm just going to leave it blank because I don't want the music in there for right now. And then there's these 2 buttons here. So the first button right here, this is the position of the camera. So if I put it right here, the camera is going to be right in Zizzy's face. Or if I put it right here, it's going to be right in Pony's face. I'm going to put it a little bit back, right about there. Now, the second button actually shows which way the camera is looking. So if I put it here, the camera is going to be looking this way. And if I put it on Pony, it's going to be looking right at Pony. For this, since Zizzy's talking, I'm going to put it on Zizzy, so that way it's looking right at Zizzy. Now I'm going to click the X icon, and then to view the cutscene, I'm going to click this little eye icon right down here, and then it's going to load up the cutscene. There it is right there. It's pointed at Zizzy. Hey, what's up, Pony? There's Zizzy right there. Now, we need to get Pony to actually talk back, right? It's not much of a cutscene if you don't. So what I could do is I could just create a new scene and then add Zizzy and Pony back to it and do all of that all over again. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to click this button right here. It's going to copy the scene to scene 2. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to change the position of the camera to Pony. And I'm going to change the speaker to Pony. And I'm going to make him say, hey, what's up, Zizzy? All right, done. Just like that. I'm going to click the X icon right here. And then I'm going to click the eye icon, and it's going to load it all in. Zizzy's going to say, hey, what's up, Pony? And then it's going to shift to scene 2 with Pony right here. And now he's going to say, hey, what's up, Zizzy? Of course, Zizzy got hashtagged for some reason, but there it is. That's literally how the cutscene editor works. Go play around with it. It is amazing. It is awesome. It looks scary at first, but it's not too crazy. And good lord, looking at the time, this video is probably really long. So I'm going to end this video here. If this video helped you out, be sure to hit that subscribe button and keep using star code RealCreep when you're buying your Roblox and Roblox Premium. I know I went over a lot, so feel free to skim back through the video if you want to catch back up on anything. And like I said, I didn't go over every new item. There's a lot of new decoration blocks in the game, for example, like the radio that you can check out. So go play around with it, check it out. It's super awesome. And I'll see you guys later for a brand new video and live stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.